Something completely wild is unfolding behind closed doors in Tuscaloosa right now, folks. And while the national media is already celebrating Alabama's supposed downfall, Kalen DeBoer might be orchestrating the most ruthless trap in college football history. Two key running backs are suddenly out with injuries, and ESPN is acting like the season is over before it even started. But what if this backfield crisis is the exact trigger designed to force an offensive revolution nobody is prepared for? Before you drop your hot take in the comments, stick around until the very end, because the clues coming out of practice tell a completely different story. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it. Let's be completely honest with each other, folks. If you turn on national sports television right now or scroll through the comments from rival fan bases, it's almost comical how predictable they are. The second any kind of adversity hits Tuscaloosa, the entire country rushes to grab their popcorn, pop the champagne, and claim the dynasty is officially dead and buried. They look at injury reports and instantly assume panic inside the building. But are they actually analyzing the roster, or are they just desperate to see Alabama fail after 20 years of total dominance? Look at the headline that started this whole circus over the weekend. Following Alabama's first major closed scrimmage, the local beat reporters and insider outlets confirmed a massive blow to the running back room. EJ, who was having the kind of fall camp that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep and had just ripped off an explosive touchdown run during live team drills, went down with a lower body injury. According to early insider reports, we're looking at a potential recovery window of roughly 6 weeks. Now let's play the skeptic for a second. The program hasn't released a detailed medical chart because why give away competitive intelligence to week 1 opponents? But if that 6-week timeline holds true, Alabama is heading into the brutal opening stretch of the SEC schedule without one of its most dynamic, physical runners. And as if rival fans weren't already grinning ear to ear, the situation gets even more dramatic. 5-star true freshman phenomenon EJ Cra was also sidelined and missed the entire scrimmage dealing with an undisclosed physical issue. Remember, Cra already lost massive development time back in spring ball, so every single contact rep he misses in August is a golden opportunity slipping away. Two premier, highly touted weapons suddenly off the field in the exact same week. Naturally, the national talking heads immediately fired up their cameras to declare Kalen DeBoer has 0 run game left, the offense is one-dimensional, and Alabama is finished. Isn't it hilarious how fast they write the obituary before they even bother checking who else is standing on the sideline? Because while the critics were busy preparing a funeral, look at what actually went down on the practice field behind locked gates. The heavy lifting immediately fell on Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley, but the real shocker of camp is freshman Tyion Brown. Brown didn't show up with a 20-camera media parade or the massive 5-star recruiting hype. But since March, insider notes have consistently praised his elite vision, patience, and violent burst through the tackles. In that very same closed scrimmage, Brown stepped up with the first team offense and ripped off chunk plays against one of the most athletic defensive fronts in America. Why is nobody in the national media mentioning that Alabama's supposed third-string backup is running like an absolute starter? Could it be because admitting Tuscaloosa is still loaded with elite talent completely ruins their favorite storyline? Now, let's widen the lens, gentlemen, because the injury bug didn't just stop in the backfield. Wide receiver Lotzeir sat out the scrimmage under concussion protocols. The medical staff is being extremely cautious, which simply means he's being preserved for real games, rather than taking meaningless hits in August. But look at the domino effect that created. His absence forced young, towering receivers like Rico Scott, Derek Meadows, and Cedarian Morgan into intense, high-stakes reps against starting cornerbacks. Over on defense, freshman defensive back Jordan Edmonds is out for several weeks with a lower body issue, and Noah Rogers is still working through his timetable. On paper, if you're a casual fan who only reads basic box scores, it looks like a full-blown injury crisis. But when you study how Kalen DeBoer operates, doesn't this entire situation feel like a masterclass in pressure testing a roster? Think about the psychology of this coaching staff for a minute. DeBoer has spent his entire football life being doubted, overlooked, and treated like an outsider by the traditional college football aristocracy. Every single place he has coached, critics said his system was too soft, his rosters weren't deep enough, and his scheme couldn't survive big-time physical football. And what did he do every single time? He took those exact rosters, created a chip on their shoulder, and turned them into ruthless, high-octane scoring machines that embarrassed defensive gurus on national television, while rival fans in Knoxville, Athens, and Baton Rouge are busy laughing at Alabama's injury list. DeBoer is quietly hardening his youngest athletes under maximum stress. And that leads us straight to the ultimate piece of this entire puzzle, the quarterback room. Up until this weekend, the safe, boring, conventional prediction pushed by every mainstream analyst was that Austin Mack would comfortably take the reins. Mack has years in the offensive system, understands every pre-snap check, and doesn't turn the football over. That's the classic conservative coaching move, right? That's what the talking heads expect. Play it safe, protect the football, run the clock, and survive. But here is where the domino effect destroys their entire thesis. What happens to a safe, conservative offense when your primary running backs are banged up? You can no longer rely on a predictable ground game to bail you out on 3rd and 7. You can't just hand the ball off 40 times and hope for the best. You need an eraser at quarterback. You need a playmaker who can take a broken play, break a tackle in the backfield, and turn absolute chaos into a 40-yard explosive touchdown. And according to multiple reports coming out of Saturday's scrimmage, that is exactly when 5-star freshman Keelon Russell stepped up and completely blew the roof off the building. Russell reportedly made off-schedule throws that left coaches speechless, scrambled out of blitzes that should have been sacks, and moved the offense with a level of electric tempo that Mack simply couldn't match on that day. Do rival defensive coordinators honestly think Kalen DeBoer came all the way to Tuscaloosa to play scared with a generational arm sitting on his bench? Let's look at both sides of the coin. Is Austin Mack completely finished in this race? Absolutely not. He possesses veteran command, understands situational football, and still has another major scrimmage to fight back. But in modern SEC football, being safe gets you blown out in November. When Georgia or Tennessee brings 6 rushers on 3rd down, you need a quarterback with lethal improv skills who can make defenders look silly in open space. Russell brings a ceiling so absurdly high that it doesn't just cover up running back injuries, it forces every single defense in the country to change their entire game plan. Connect the dots, folks. The media thinks Alabama is cornered, desperate, and limping into the season. But in reality, this injury stretch has eliminated all hesitation. It handed DeBoer the perfect operational reason to unleash the fastest, most aggressive, and most dangerous offensive scheme Tuscaloosa has ever witnessed. They thought they were watching the end of an empire, but they might have just forced the birth of a juggernaut. Scrimmage number 2 is right around the corner, and the momentum inside that facility is reaching a boiling point. The critics can laugh at the headlines all they want right now, but when the lights turn on in week 1, they are going to realize they walked straight into a buzzsaw. So I want to hear from every single one of you in the comments. Are you falling for the national media's panic, or do you see the master plan DeBoer is building behind closed doors? If Keelon Russell tears up the defense again in the second scrimmage, do you name him QB1 immediately, or would you stick with Austin Mack's experience? Drop your take down below, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss what's really happening in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide, and I'll catch you all in the next video.